Greetings, seekers of wisdom. Today, I want to share a story of resilience, discipline, and serenity. Imagine that, overnight, everything you have is taken from you. Your freedom, your comfort, your dreams for the future. Suddenly, you find yourself trapped in a reality you did not choose. What would remain? How would you react? Our protagonist today lived exactly that. Epictetus was born into slavery, with no rights, no fortune, and no prospects. His body was imprisoned, but his mind was free. Instead of rebelling against fate, he learned something that few people discover in a lifetime. True freedom does not come from the outside world, but from controlling one's own mind. Today, his words echo in the minds of leaders, athletes, and great thinkers worldwide. He teaches us that serenity and resilience do not depend on circumstances, but on our ability to govern our thoughts and emotions. And this is more relevant than ever. Now, let me ask you, do you feel like your life is out of control? That challenges are blocking your progress? That learning English feels like an impossible task? Don't worry. In this video, we will learn how to overcome these obstacles with the wisdom of Epictetus, while also practicing English. Pay close attention to the words, practice your listening skills, and try to repeat out loud. The secret to fluency is consistent practice. And the secret to a peaceful life is mastering your own mind. Stay with me until the end of this video and discover how to live with more calmness, strength, and wisdom. Let's begin. To understand the impact of Epictetus, we need to travel back in time. Picture yourself in 1st century Rome, an empire in its golden age, yet also a place of cruelty and inequality. Amid the grandeur of Roman columns and the splendor of generals, there was another reality, the world of those without a voice, the enslaved. Epictetus was born around the year 55, after Christ, in Phrygia, a region of the Roman Empire. From the very start, his life was marked by hardship. He was a slave, owned by Epictetus, a powerful advisor to Emperor Nero. His master, according to reports, was ruthless and treated Epictetus with brutality. Some say it was during this period that Epictetus suffered a permanent leg injury, possibly due to mistreatment. But here's the key point. While many would have succumbed to suffering, Epictetus found a new path. He discovered Stoic philosophy, a system of thought that teaches us that we cannot control the world around us, but we can control how we react to it. This is how he transformed his pain into wisdom. Even while still enslaved, Epictetus had the rare opportunity to study philosophy. Gradually, he became a follower of the great Stoic masters, learning that true freedom does not come from society, but from self-control. Eventually, he gained his freedom and began teaching philosophy in Rome. However, his journey was disrupted when Emperor Domitian, fearing the influence of philosophers, ordered their expulsion from the city. Once again, Epictetus had to leave everything behind and restart his life in Nicopolis, Greece. There, he founded his own philosophy school, attracting students from far and wide, including the future Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Epictetus's life was a living testimony to his teachings. He lost everything multiple times, but never lost himself. He understood that true strength comes from within. The teachings of Epictetus, control and serenity. Epictetus left us a guide to better living, a philosophy that teaches us to distinguish between what is within our control and what is not. Let's explore these teachings through 4 essential principles. 1. Accept what you cannot control. Epictetus said, "Do not try to make things happen as you wish. Wish for things to happen as they do, and you will be happy." This means we must stop fighting against the inevitable. Life is full of uncertainties, losses, and unexpected changes. But instead of resisting, we can accept them with serenity and focus on what we can influence. Imagine being stuck in traffic. You can get frustrated and stressed, or you can accept the situation, take a deep breath, and use the time to listen to something useful, like this video. The choice is yours. 2. Master your emotions. Epictetus teaches us that it is not external events that disturb us, but rather our opinions about them. He believed that we could learn to control our emotional reactions and avoid being dominated by anger, fear, or sadness. Think of a moment when someone insulted you. Your immediate reaction might be to respond with anger. But if you remember Epictetus's words, you will realize that the other person's words have no power over you. Only your interpretation of them does. 3. True wealth lies in simplicity. Many people spend their lives chasing money, fame, or status, believing these will bring happiness. But Epictetus reminds us that true peace comes from within. He said, "Wealth is not having great possessions, but having few wants." This means we can find contentment without depending on material possessions. If you have ever noticed that some of the richest people in the world are still unhappy, you already know that happiness is not in what we own, but in how we view life. 4. Self-discipline is the key to freedom. Epictetus believed that true freedom could only be achieved by those who master themselves. He said, "No person is free if they are not their own master." See, this means that if we truly want to be free, we must develop discipline and self-control. This applies to everything: learning English, working, relationships. If you want to improve your English, you need to practice every day, even when you don't feel like it. If you want success, you must act even when faced with difficulties. Every choice we make either brings us closer to or further from the person we want to become. Now that we have explored the key teachings of Epictetus, tell me, which of these principles resonates most with you? Write in the comments which teaching you find most useful for your life. In the next section, we will see how great leaders, athletes, and entrepreneurs apply these ideas to achieve success. Let's continue. The philosophy of Epictetus did not stay in the past. Today, great leaders, athletes, and entrepreneurs follow his teachings to stay calm under pressure, make clear decisions, and live a more balanced life. In sports, mental strength and resilience. Have you ever noticed how, in a championship final, the team that lacks emotional control often collapses when they start losing? Panic sets in, mistakes multiply, and the opponent's score increases. This happens because a lack of mental balance leads to impulsive decisions and emotional breakdowns. A perfect example of this was the 2014 FIFA World Cup semi-final when Brazil faced Germany. After conceding early goals, the Brazilian team lost all emotional control, leading to the historic 7-1 defeat. On the other hand, teams that embrace a Stoic mindset remain composed even under extreme pressure. A great example is the 2005 UEFA Champions League final between AC Milan and Liverpool. Milan led 3-0 in the first half, making victory seem certain. However, Liverpool did not panic. Demonstrating incredible emotional control, they stayed focused, adjusted their strategy, and managed to equalize in just 6 minutes in the second half. In the end, they won on penalties, creating one of the greatest comebacks in football history. In business, rational decision-making under pressure. In the corporate world, the best leaders are those who remain calm in the face of chaos. A great example is Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon. He has always taken a rational approach to problems, focusing on what he can control and accepting what he cannot. During the 2008 financial crisis, while many companies panicked and made impulsive cuts, Bezos maintained a long-term strategic vision. Instead of reacting out of fear, he invested in innovation and expansion, which helped Amazon grow even more in the following years. Another example is former Apple CEO Steve Jobs. He faced many difficulties, including being fired from his own company. However, instead of being consumed by resentment, he focused on what he could control, his creativity and passion for technology. Later, he returned to Apple and led one of the greatest business comebacks in history. In everyday life, overcoming personal challenges. The teachings of Epictetus apply not only to great leaders and athletes, but also to all of us. Imagine someone learning English who feels they will never achieve fluency. If they focus only on the difficulties and fear of making mistakes, they may give up quickly. But by applying the Stoic mindset, they understand that they cannot control how fast they will learn, but can control their daily effort and consistent practice. Another example is someone facing a financial crisis. Instead of falling into despair over external circumstances, they can focus on reducing expenses, seeking new opportunities, and strengthening their mindset to overcome the situation without being overwhelmed by fear. This mental resilience is what separates those who overcome life's challenges from those who allow themselves to be defeated. Vocabulary practice. Let's reinforce what we've learned today with key vocabulary words. Repeat after me and try to use these words in sentences in your daily life. Resilience, the ability to recover from difficulties. In work, a resilient person does not give up when facing a problem but seeks solutions. In personal life, it means handling change and challenges well. Example: Epictetus showed great resilience despite his hardships. Use in daily life. If you fail an exam, remember, resilience helps you study and try again. Serenity, the ability to stay calm even in difficult situations. For example, instead of getting angry in a traffic jam, a serene person takes a deep breath and listens to a good podcast. Example: true wisdom leads to serenity. Use in daily life. Practice serenity when facing a stressful day at work or school. Discipline, the ability to stay committed to a goal, even without motivation. An athlete needs discipline to train every day, just as a student needs it to learn English. Example: Stoic philosophy teaches the power of discipline. Use in daily life. If you want to learn English, daily discipline will make the difference. Adversity. Difficult moments in life. Everyone faces challenges, but what matters is how we react. Resilient people see adversity as an opportunity to grow. Example. In times of adversity, a strong mindset is essential. Use in daily life. If a plan doesn't work out, remember, adversity is part of the journey. Endurance. The ability to persist despite difficulties. In learning a new language, endurance means continuing to study even when it feels hard. Example. Learning a new language requires endurance and patience. Use in daily life. Think of endurance when you feel tired, but know that consistent effort will bring results. Now, it's your turn. Choose one of these words and write a sentence in the comments. Practicing is essential to mastering a new language. Let's go! Now that we have explored the wisdom of Epictetus and learned new words in English, I challenge you. Take one lesson from this video and write a comment using one of today's vocabulary words. This will help you reinforce your learning and reflect on how to apply Stoicism in your life. And remember, no one is free unless they are their own master. What can you start controlling today to become stronger and more serene? Want to improve your English with deep and meaningful lessons? Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Speak and think in English. Live with wisdom.